Hello, I'm here today talking to you about anxiety. One thing that I saw today was that a task force, a preventive task force, I'm going to just read it to you, have just made the announcement that all adult Americans need to be tested for anxiety, even if they have no symptoms of it. And this is for all Americans under the age 65 years old of age and younger. So it says this week, the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force has recommended anxiety screening in primary care for adults under the 65 years of age without symptoms. This just lets us know that anxiety is a serious problem and is very prevalent in our country. And not, I would say not even just in America, but it is more than ever an issue that is causing other issues. And so that's what we're going to be talking about tonight: anxiety and habits, 5 habits that can contribute to you having anxiety. All right, here we go. 5 habits, anxiety, 5 habits that make it worse. So we want to find out what those things are so that we can stop doing that. And I'm going to, in the next couple of episodes, I'll be talking about anxiety as well, because it's something that we all need to get a handle on. It's something that we all have the power. You got the power to help your body help you have less stress, which can lead to anxiety, which could lead to a host of issues that can ultimately, ultimately cause problems in your physical health. And when it does that, I'm going to tell you that it will it will frustrate your lymphatic system. I am your lymphatic system health expert, and that is what I talk about on this show, the Vibrant Good Health Show. All things that you can do to help your body help you have better health and a more vibrant life. And you can do that by understanding the best and knowing about the best kept secret to better health. That is activating your lymphatic system. And so join me and go ahead and share this broadcast out to someone you know that's, you can tell they've been real anxious lately, and maybe they need to figure out some ways that they can help it, and you want to see them help it as well. Go ahead and share this out and tag a friend as well. So I am Hillary Gooden, your Vibrant Life Coach, certified lymphology expert, and I'm here every Tuesday, like tonight, ready to go ahead and get this going. I just want to start out by saying myself, I hadn't talked about it on my show, but since I'm talking about anxiety, I'll go ahead. A couple of weeks ago, I found myself having an anxiety attack. And it really surprised me because I had not had anything like that happen in years. And, you can get a little anxious about this or that, but a full blown anxiety attack where my heart was racing, my breathing was getting rapid and I could hardly catch my breath. I mean, it was doing all the things. And I was like, oh my God, I was amongst some other people when this happened. And I found myself having to get to a place so that I could do the things that I know help to reduce that anxiety. And it worked. But I was so surprised that it happened. And you can be under certain stresses, like I was under certain stresses at the time, that not knowing how things were going to work out, what would people think if they knew this? And, and the thing is, ultimately, the thing that I didn't want to make known became known. And guess what? Life went right on. But our minds can conjure up what might happen in the future and cause your right now to be so totally thrown off balance, thrown into oblivion if you don't really be able to get a handle on it. And so that's why I know that it happens, and it can happen to anybody. But the thing is, you want to know what you can do. And I always say that what you can do that's easy, natural, and drug free to help your body, help you so that you're in control and that stress and anxiety is not controlling you. All right. So we're going to talk about these 5 things. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see this clearly. See this clearly. Our first uh, habit that can make anxiety worse is skipping meals. You know, when you skip meals, it says here your hypoglycemia can lead to irritability, nervousness, diarrhea. Oh, did I say that? Dizziness. Sorry. Lightheadedness, weaknesses, and it can also cause you digestive issues as well. Just know that. So you want to make sure that you're eating uh, when your body is hungry, that you're feeding it. You know, that's what I always tell people: eat, listen to your body. You know, but if you're feeling yourself a little anxious, maybe you want to eat something and try to eat something that's nutritious, because that's the other side. That's the other side as well, skipping meals, but then eating foods that's not nutritious, eating foods that are not nutritious. So you want to try to grab something that's going to be good for you as well when you decide not to skip those meals. Because sometimes that anxiety can make you not be hungry. And maybe you need to eat a little something. They say, why don't you eat a little something? Why don't you eat a little something? And so that's what this is talking about, because it can make the problem worse. So you want to check your meals, check your appetite, check your, you know, whether you've eaten or not, and just eat a little something hopefully something like a fresh fruit or vegetable that will help sustain your cellular self while your emotional self is trying to get back on track. All right. I don't know why I keep looking over that way, because I got my light in a different place. But there you are right there. Okay, so number 2, we're going to go on to number 2. And number 2 is another thing, another habit that can exacerbate or make the problem, anxiety, worse, is not exercising. One thing that we all need to know, our bodies were made to move. It's only as the years continue to move on, we become more and more sedentary, where we're sitting, and we can do a whole host of business and fun and all kind of things sitting, because we use our devices like I'm on right now, and you're on, frankly, watching me. And so we want to make sure that you're exercising, moving your body. It does not have to be anything strenuous, but you want to move your body. Why? Because that helps the flow of your blood, helps the flow of your lymphatic fluid, it helps the flow of oxygen. That's what the blood carries, nutrients. When you're eating properly, it helps to carry those nutrients and oxygen throughout your body. From all your cells is the need of oxygen. Okay, and so when you're not moving, this can cause a problem. This could cause the flow not to flow. You know, when you're in a sitting position or any kind of position where you're just on your device, you need to set that device down, push away from it, get up, do some jumping jacks, take a little walk, whatever it is that's going to help you to move your body. I always say, if you got a mini trampoline handy, jump on there for a couple of minutes and help your lymphatic system to get the juices flowing again. And so moving our bodies is one thing. Another thing that you ought to do when uh, you're in an anxious moment, because sometimes you might find yourself pacing. I don't know if this is something that, if you've ever had an anxiety attack or you find yourself in being really anxious, pacing back and forth, you know, but maybe you might want to take that out of a pace mode to just take a little walk, you know, take a little walk, because you'd be surprised how it helps your brain to release different feel good chemicals in order to make you feel better. It's amazing how that works. Helps you to be able to calm down. Helps you to be able to get your breathing at a pace that's not rapid fire, but calm yourself down. So moving, say exercising, but mainly just keep in mind, because exercising might freak you out. Say, exercising, I don't feel like doing exercises, or I don't have time to do exercises. Make time to move your body. That's really what I wanted the takeaway to be. Make time to move your body. When I was going through that a couple of weeks ago, that's what I had to do. I had to get up and take a little walk away from the situation and breathe. Begin doing some breathing exercises that I know to do that help to begin to calm me down. My heart began to slow down. And I'm telling you, it's just so amazing. But it can be terrifying if that's happening to you. And you say, man, how did it happen so fast, so quick? And really, it's amazing that it's your body trying to help you. It's kind of, you look at it and you say, okay, body, I know you're just trying to help me in this situation, but this is not helping me. So then you have to help your body to understand what is going to be good help. You help your body help you. You start getting into those breathing modes and say, oh, you don't want it like that right now. Okay, we'll cut it back. We'll bring it back. Yeah, work together with your body. So we talked about skipping meals is a problem, and not exercising or not moving your body enough. If you're one that those two, if that's a problem for you, put a 1 in the comments. You find yourself skipping meals, or just not, when you get anxious, you skip, your appetite leaves and you find yourself not eating. People have to, in fact, try to tell you, you need to eat a little something. Thank you, Facebook user. I can't tell who you are because it's just giving me that, but thank you so much. So that was 1 and 2. Skipping meals is not good when you're in dealing with anxiety, or when anxiety is dealing with you, and not moving your body to help those feel good chemicals to be released and circulated so that you can begin to feel better and be able to calm down. The third thing, watching the news. If watching the news makes you anxious, put a 2 in the comments. A 2 in the comments, because I'm going to tell you, there are days when I will not watch the news. It's just too much. It's just too much. And not only do we see local news, with your local city or area that you live in, now you see national news, and now we see global news. So just we hearing about the war in Ukraine, and just so many things going on, all type of devastation going on in other countries, and as well as the things that are happening right around in your own local community. Sometimes that's too much. And it can cause you problems. It can exacerbate worry and fear. Worry and fear are at the base of that anxiety, because you're worrying about something that hasn't happened. It hasn't happened. You start thinking, what if it happened to me? What if it happened to my family? What if? And the what ifs can become overpowering and lead you right into that mode where you're feeling, like it says here, that fear and worry can lead to leaving. I meant to say leading you leaving you to feel moody and anxious afterwards. After you watch the news, you might find yourself irritable, just short-tempered, and just moody in general. So if you're already feeling anxious, Stay away from the news. Stay away from the news. You can find, if you're just trying to see what the temperature is, get you a temperature app for your phone, and you can look it up without having to watch all of that news that can be so too much, especially when you're going through bouts of anxiety. You don't need it. Nobody does. Nobody needs that much news every day. And they give you the news like every hour, every couple of hours. There's a new set of news people on the same station, and they're just giving you the same news that you heard 2 hours ago. And if you're watching the television like that, you'll have the same news over and over and over, unless some breaking news come in to even just put pile on top of everything else. That's really, I guess, all I need to say about that. But sometimes I don't watch the news. And if I want to see what the temperature is, I'll pull out my phone and look up on my temperature app and find out what the weather is. It's just too much. If you wake up in the morning to watch the news as you're going about your getting together for the day, it can take you down. It can take you down as soon as you've gotten up and trying to move around for the day. Say, I don't watch it either. So true. Let me see. I meant to put those up there. Saying so true. Why don't you write your name for me in the comment section and let me know where you're coming in from? I'd love to hear that as well. I don't watch it either. I've gotten to the place this can be too much, and I don't even want to hear. I just don't want to hear it. I can't. You have to protect your peace. You have to protect your peace. If your peace is being, how can I say, being used up, you're the steward of your peace. And so if watching the news makes you anxious, watching all of the stuff that's going on, oh, lovely. Thank you for coming in from Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Yes. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Well, if watching the news will take you over, and sometimes what happens is you're watching the news and you're watching all this bad stuff that's happening to people, and just like one day I was listening and they were talking about a person that had been I believe he had been carjacked, and we hear it so much. I don't want to become immune to it. I was carjacked. Me and my mom, we were carjacked once. I don't, in our driveway at home, but I don't want to become immune to it. But it's just like, but this particular day, they were talking to the wife of the person who had been murdered. They dumped him out of his car on the street. He had stolen all of his stuff. And as I was, focusing, I had just turned the television on. And when I focused, I said, wait a minute, I know her. Oh my God, her husband. And it just made me I started feeling anxious. I had to get up then and kind of move around and get my breathing, because it's just too much. And sometimes it touches you a lot closer than you would want to, because it can happen to anybody. If not you directly, somebody you know and love. So just, put yourself on a news diet. Read the good news, the Bible. Read something, in the Bible that's going to uplift you, make you feel encouraged, make you feel, just loved and all of those things that are good and lovely and of a good report. The Bible tells you to sometimes you have to think on those things that are lovely and pure, of a good report. If you have to think long and hard, find something. Find something that's of a good report that you can think on and focus on, because there's so much negativity out here that's easy to focus on. That's right. Say amen. He said from the fast from the news and read the good news. Exactly. Fast. We have to take time to replenish ourselves. The Bible talks about, beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper. And that's prospering in all the different relationships that you can have. whether it's your business, on your job, in your marriage, in your family, and with your friends. You want to prosper, be in good health, even as your soul prospers. He wants us to be well-rounded in our prosperity. And we prosper in our spirit. And that's a part of that holding on to your peace. When your peace becomes deficit in the negative, you need to build that back up. And just as Sarita said here, you need to fast from some of the things that is depleting that peace. Whether that might be fasting from people sometimes that bring you bad news. It might not be because of the television. Either way, you protect your peace. You make sure your peace quotient is at an optimal level, doing what you need to do to make that happen. Ah, yes. Here's my brother. He said, Amen, Sister Gooden. This is powerful. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys are sharing this out. Yes. And we talk about anxiety. I was listening to a young lady on Facebook the other day that I've known her since. I don't know her personally, but you know how when you see somebody, you follow them for years and they kind of know you because you're always in the comments and different things. And she was sharing and just being very vulnerable and very honest and just doing it for her own peace to talk about the anxiety that she was dealing with. And she said, most people, if they look at me, they're thinking life is all peachy and hunky-dory. She said, but I got things going on where I feel anxious and I don't want to be out and about, and I make excuses for not to go hang out with my friends or different things because of the anxiety, because of, one of those things that can really bring you down. If this might not be you, but if you're concerned about what other people think, and you wouldn't think that about her, but because of her past and her childhood, she got things that are lingering on into adulthood. I had this, I felt like she was telling part of my story, and so I totally understand. Sometimes you might think that other people's opinions matter more than your own, and that can cause you to have anxious moments when you have to be around not just everybody, not just anybody, not just a particular person, but anybody. You start feeling kind of, I hate to use the word paranoid, but you feel like everybody's judging you when actually this is all happening on the inside. It took me a long time. It took me a long time, years, I'm telling you, to come to the truth about that thing and know that, I give myself permission to be me fully and totally now. I didn't for a long time. And so it was really something to hear somebody else talking about that. He says, speak the word of the Lord. That's right. And he says here, this is Dr. Kevin Vaughn. I don't know why it's not giving me the name, but it says people need to be heard and have another ear just to listen. That is so true. And when anxiety is ruling you, you feel like nobody cares. You feel like nobody wants to hear what you have to say. You feel like nobody values you. And you begin to not value your own value. I had the other guy, his grandfather told him, you have to always value, as he said, if you don't value your value, then your value isn't valuable. And so you have to know your worth, know that you matter, and hold on to your peace. That's what I say all the time. You got the power to transform your health and peace. You got the power to do that. Know it. Let me go on because I want to finish the last two. And I kind of got into this here, comparing yourself to others. This is another bad habit. This is a bad habit here. Comparing yourselves to others, because there's only one of them and there's only one of you. And if you're trying to be them, who's being you? That's the way I kind of look at that. So, and then the other thing, I heard somebody say this years ago, and I've never forgotten it. See, it's not easy being me. I don't have time to try to be you. If you agree with that, put a 3 in the comment. You need to spend your time being fully you, getting to know who you really are. We don't know all things about ourselves. We think we do. But let yourself be in a certain situation. You might find out something about yourself that you didn't think was there. You didn't know was there. So, we spend time comparing ourselves to other people. That can lead you to being unhappy with your life. That could lead you to being, like it says here, in a low mood and having negative thoughts that lead to anxiety. And another thing is, when you're feeling like that, I always talk about your words have power. You hear people say your words have power. When you're feeling like this, when you're comparing yourself and you don't feel up to par, what you end up doing is blessing the other person. They always are blessed. They always get what they want. They always have people following them. They always have money coming to them. They're always able to get, and I can't never rub two dimes together. I can't. So you're blessing them and cursing yourself out of your mouth. You're giving away your blessing to somebody else, which you could be speaking over your own self. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Let's go back to some of these comments. I see I did get a 3 there. Thank you. Yes, face, it's just so. I want to say this quote that I also found today. And I said, this is really let me know I'm on the right track here. Say the first thing I had to know is to know me. I am still working on this every day. And that's something we all should be working on every day. Every day. And when I was going through that, says, wow, this is good wisdom. Thank you. When I was going through that a couple of weeks ago, I had to, it's one thing to say affirmations. I have a list of affirmations, 2, 3, 4, 5 lists of affirmations that I'll go through. I read some affirmations on I printed them all out, exactly what I wanted to say. So I got this long 3 pages list, and I spoke them out onto my recorder. So that this is when I was working. So when I would be in my car on my way to work in the morning, I would connect the recorder and let it play. And I would recite after me, and I would recite. So by the time I got to work, I was, feeling good. I had bounced up my bouncing on a mini trampoline, had my innards doing all good. My lymphatic system was on point. But then I had to get my mind ready, because when I would come to work, being a leader, being one of the ones that everybody knows my name, it was like being in Cheers. Everybody knows Miss Hillary. If there's a problem, Miss Hillary, Miss Hillary, Miss Hillary. And I never knew what I might walk into, even from the parking lot, before I could even get in my office, And those affirmations and scriptures mingled in, really just helped me. And they'll help you. But when I was going through that anxious moment, I didn't go find the recorder. Guess what? That stuff was in me. I was able to just begin to speak what is truth. What's the truth? Because when anxiety comes, your mind will tell you lies. Because you're thinking about stuff that hasn't happened yet. You're stressing over things that haven't happened yet, mainly when you're dealing with anxiety. And your mind will lie to you. And if you start believing those lies, that's when you go deeper and deeper into that abyss of anxiety. But I began to pull my way up out of that thing, began reciting. I was in reciting, saying, this is what's true. This is what I believe. I'm the head and not the tail. I'm above only and not beneath. That's the truth. And that's what I believe. And that's what I'm standing in faith on to bring to pass everything that I desire in my life, according to the will and the plan of God. And I just had to start speaking this stuff. And I was just even amazing myself how it was coming, and how, I had to gain the upper hand. If you don't, that thing will take you down. And listen, at the end of this, I want to tell you about a 5-week program that I have coming up that will help you or help someone you know and love to be able to get that upper hand with anxiety, to get the upper hand. So stay tuned to the end, please. So let's see. I think I read that one already. I want to make sure that I'm hearing what you all are saying here. Thank you. Dr. Vaughn said, it is the power of transformation. It starts with the Holy Spirit through Jesus Christ, but we must work toward having the mind. Yeah, there you go, the mind of Christ. We must be transformed and renewed in our mind. And that is so true. And I say amen to that as well. And you have to stand on the word, stand on what you believe is the truth. In fact, he said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. So you can say, I believe everything he said about me. If you're trying to, you can't remember a good scripture or one that's going to help you, just begin to confess that I am who he says I am. Holy Spirit will help you with some of the rest of that. I'm pretty sure, because that's how it works. He's always there to be our helper. Yes. We are what God, there you go. We are what God says we are. See, I didn't even see that before I said it. So I got one more point that I want to say here. Then I'll do a quick recap. But the fifth point is, what's the last one? The fifth one, let me get it, is drinking caffeine. I like my coffee. There's some days I'll say, you know what, I'm just going to drink my water. I'm going to forego the coffee. But I didn't know about, this is something that I didn't know about caffeine. And caffeine can boost anxiety. And it often shows up hours later. So it causes you to not connect the two. That, man, I had that caffeine earlier and it's making me, well, people said it makes me jittery. I never really had that feeling. Now I have to think about it. But you might want to stay away from caffeine if you're dealing with anxiety. You got an anxiety going on. Pull away from caffeine. That could be in coffee. That could be in tea. You can drink decaffeinated coffee, decaffeinated tea, decaffeinated soda if you're drinking pops, soda pops or whatever you call it where you are. But here in Chicago, we call it pop. So if you're drinking pop, you can drink decaffeinated pop. But it's always best to lean in on some good water. Excuse me. Water does the body good. So those are the 5 things that I wanted to talk about on tonight. 5 habits that can make anxiety worse. And these are things that you got the power to control. I do a lot. I shake every time I drink. I shake every time I drink. Oh, Lord. You said I drink decaf coffee. I can drink. Yeah, try decaf. You might find one that you really like. And, when you drink coffee often, you become almost like a connoisseur. You got a certain taste that you're looking for. So I'm sure that there's a decaf that you will find that's suitable for your palate. Yes. So I'm thanking you guys for hanging out with me, and those that are watching on the replay, I thank you as well. Let me do a quick recap. The number one habit, we talked about 5 habits. Number 1 is skipping meals. Try not to skip meals. And most of all, listen to your body. If your body's saying it's hungry, then feed it. Feed it something nutritious, fresh fruits and vegetables, drink some water, help your body help you. Number 2 was not exercising. It's important to move our bodies. Our bodies were meant to move so that the systems of the body can receive nutrients and oxygen and fluids so that the body can work the way God intended. Number 3, watching the news. Sometimes you might want to take a fast from the news because they report bad news mainly. That's how they attract people. You want to hear some good news? Get your Bible. Yes. Number 4 is comparing yourself to others. That can lead you down into a hole real fast. Try not to do that. You matter. And number 5 was drinking caffeine. And no matter whether it's pop, coffee, or tea, try the decaffeinated versions or drink you a little more water. And so I thank you for being here with me. And again, I have a 5-week program that is going to start October the 14th. And let me put the information here, because I understand that working the lymphatic system, activating and maintaining a healthy lymphatic system is just as important as heart health, digestive health, your nervous system being healthy. It's even more important because it helps all the other systems of the body. And if your lymphatic system is not working properly, is not working at an optimal level, you're going to experience things like we talked about tonight as far as stress and anxiety. Stress leads to anxiety, and that anxiety and stress combined can cause your lymphatic system to not work properly at a cellular level. You end up with a backlog, or how does a buildup of cellular waste not moving properly because that system is not able to do its job effectively. And when that happens, you have a pain, you have lack of energy, you're not able to sleep, you're dealing with fatigue, not just regular tiredness, but that kind of fatigue where you're dog tired and you go to bed and you can't sleep. How frustrating is that? Your immune system is compromised because, listen, your lymphatic system is a major part of your immune system. So you want it to be working at its optimal level, and you got the power to help that. And so in this 5-week system, I go through I call it my super system, but here's a 5-week program where you will learn how to breathe your way to a healthier you. We talk about the lymphatic system. I talk about the lymphatic system. And the number one way to work it and to activate it is bouncing on a mini trampoline. That's for another training. But what you can do anytime, anywhere, because you're doing it anyway, is breathing. And I always say, why not learn how to make it work for you? And that's what I'll be teaching in this program, 5 weeks to a healthier you. And it's information that you're not hearing from your doctor. It's information that you can use not only for this 5-week period, but for a lifetime. And not only just for yourself, but for those people you know and love, your children, so they can pass these things on to your children's children. That way, I can affect you, you can affect your family, and your family can affect other people. So I want to see this. This is my mission, to get this word out about the lymphatic system, and the fact that right now it's a best kept secret that ought not to be a secret to everybody. So if you're, how can I say, I invite you, I admonish you, especially if anxiety is a problem for you and you're finding you having some of those other issues that may be connected to the anxiety, that lack of energy, the pain, and different inflammation that you can't get a handle on, or just not having a peace of mind. That in itself is worth the 5 weeks. Trust me. So join me. The information is right there. Breathe your way to a healthier you. 5-week program. The cost is $497, and you can find the link there. I'll put the link after I get off of the live. I'll put the link in the clickable link in the comments. So I thank you all for being here. If you have any questions for me, you can put it in the comments. I'll be glad to answer it. If not, you can direct message me with any questions you might have. I'd be glad to answer any questions that you may have. So again, thank you for coming on here with me tonight. I'm here every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern for this show, the Vibrant Good Health Show. And I have my Let's Get Acquainted show coming up this Thursday. I just want to announce that one of my guests here tonight, it says MLT Media Network, Dr. Kevin Vaughn is going to be my special guest. And we're going to be talking about friendship, because this is National Friendship Month as well. So I'll be putting out the information about that. And so again, come on, join me on this 5-week program. Don't wait. You don't have to wait to have better health. Say, well, I'm going to make that my New Year's resolution. Why wait? Let's do it now. Enter into the new year already set to go with everything else that will be new in your life. So join me for that, and I'll see you next week. Thank you again. You all have a blessed night.